A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Mars retrograding in the sign of Gemini from 30th of October. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your suggestions and your comments there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. As we speak, Mars goes stationary and finally goes retrograde in the sign of Gemini in Mrigasira Nakshatra, its own nakshatra under the Vimshotri Dasha scheme. So what does it bear for us? Well, this Mars, when it goes retrograde, it leads us to think deeply, to introspect, to understand our own selves, to understand what we for different lagnas want and how do we want to live our life. What is it that propels us to do things better in life? These 2 months when Mars would be retrograding from Gemini back into Taurus and stopping at Rohini is a good time to find out a lot of basics about ourselves and go forward. Obviously, for every lagna, what one needs to find out will be different, and we will be able to ascertain what it has to bring forth for every lagna. For the Aries lagna, you have a very strong subconscious mind working for the next 2 months. That mind is capable of leading you to find something that you're very good at doing. And how can you expand that energy? One area that you really need to work on and not create problems for yourself is your workplace. Do invest properly. Try to find your niche in your workplace and work according to that. You would do well to mind yourself at home in sense that whoever subordinate working for you, under you, should feel happy and not feel irritated by you. Another area that does call for certain amount of introspection is your religious and your happiness, or should I say that your ability to move deep down, understand why are certain principles of religion, or should I say truth, important for you. That will also open up certain channels in your life for you. Mars retrograde is always a strong energy, but it needs an outlet. And so doing a lot of physical work during this time is something that comes naturally to us and should be done so that that energy finds an outlet. However, the ability to help others should also be on the forefront. For the Aries lagna specifically, you might feel lethargic, you might feel lost because the lagna lord is going retrograde. In that case, what you really need to do is focus and at times go into a place which is quiet and introspect about what do you want further on from life. The questions will be answered, albeit not at that same time, but if it's there, it will be answered. And in the meantime, do take care of what it is in your business also, that is your niche, and work accordingly. As far as finances are concerned, you will be, by the end, after the 15th of November, going forward, be able to understand areas of finance that you haven't ventured before and will be able to invest in those finances accordingly. Mutual funds will become important for you post 15th of November. For the Taurus lagna, second lord, a 7th lord and 12th lord gets retrograde in the 2nd house, then would move over to the lagna. This is the time when if you want to improve your finances and also improve a social standing in foreign shores, you will be able to understand uncharted territories in the foreign area, which you can use to the best of the advantage on a public level as well as financially work in those areas. However, before that, you have to be very certain about your search and you have to ascertain as to what exactly is that you're looking for. On the front of your children, it is a good time for you to be propelling your children forward, making friends with them, trying to understand what they want in life and helping them attain their means. Financially, it is a good phase for you, where you can also decide on what kind of mutual funds, what kind of insurance policies that you want to work on. The only thing is, don't search too much. Search in a particular area and be definite for your search. It is advised that you do not pick up fight with elders, especially on your spouse's side. That will save you a lot of problems, and that will also save you a lot of heartaches. Their blessings is something at this moment which will help you tide over a period which is good, which is not so good rather. In fact, it is also important for you to maintain strong focus on your health, especially regarding chronic illness that you may be suffering from, especially areas like hereditary issues like BP, and for ladies, if they have a menstrual cycle problem issues, this is a time that you should be able to work on it, find the key to correction, and also work on that. On the home front, it should be a good period. So invest in the home also and feel the results. Just don't pick up fights from others. Just because you are feeling lost in the mind, don't pick up fights with others. Take good care of your speech and your eyes. And if you suffer from sore throat or these problems, it's a good time to keep quiet and introspect more about your finances rather than trying to sort things out for others. For the Gemini Lagna, this is a good time to focus more on yourself, as this is also a time when you may be feeling lethargic, you may be feeling lost, you may be feeling lonely. With Mars retrograding on your Lagna, and that too in Mritsara Nakshatra, this is something that comes very naturally. However, your subconscious mind is also raring to go. So if you stay focused, if you find areas, especially health-wise, if you can invest in doing proper exercise, you will see that many things will start unraveling within you, and you will find a direction, a strong one at that. This is a time when you need to be very strong about your finances, especially those people who are dealing with other people's money. They need to be very focused on that. For those who are going into research, for those who are going into deep meditation, this is a time when you need to gather yourself. You need to be focused as to what you want to do, where you want to head, and then sit down and do the work. Home is a front which will bring you a lot of happiness. So maintaining a very strong, cool, and maintaining a lot of cheerful attitude. If you invest more in your friends and your family, you will feel very happy about them. One thing that you really can work on is on your spouse. Instead of feeling lost with your spouse, instead of venting out your anger on your spouse, if you try to find out what is good for them, if you work with them in partnership, a time will come when you will be able, especially after 15th of November, more as as Mars retrogrades back into the sign of Taurus, you will see that you will be able to understand them more. And that is a time when you should not be picking up a fight with them, trying to work in tandem with them and work according to them. You will find that though there may be certain losses, things may not be working out according to you, but on the long run, when Mars comes back direct on the Lagna, it'll help you and your spouse grow together. For the Cancer Lagna, this is a time when you need to really back off and not be overwhelming to your spouse. If you try to pick up fights which are unnecessary, which are unwarranted, then there will be strong repercussions. So this is a time you need to be aware of. You could also be at a disagreement about certain policies with your spouse, which is just fine, but know your limits and your boundaries. As far as home and children are concerned, the home will have a lot of responsibilities coming your way, but it will be fun and it will be loving. You will find a lot of solace from your cousins, from your friends, and this is a good time to just laze around, spend certain time with them. With the Mars retrograde, looking into your sixth house, this is a time when you can also go on a search for your employees. As far as children, new employees, if you want to bring into your company, this is a good time, especially the next 15 days. When we talk about children, children need to be handled with care and a little bit of domination, but not outright. In that case, you will succeed. Health issues can take place if you are not very comfortable with your shin and your ankles. Do pay attention to that area, and in case there is an injury or something in the area, don't neglect it. It's time it needs to be rectified. You have a very strong ability to search for foreign ventures. This is a time when there's a radical change going on in your house of career, in your house of job, in your work perspective. So look out for those changes. See where you can invest. Don't be all over the place. Introspect on your data carefully, and you will be able to make your ends meet. In fact, you will be able to find new areas of venture which you can do gladly when Mars moves in back into Gemini and will give you great results. For the Leo Lagna, as Mars, the Lord of your fourth house and ninth house, retrogrades in the 11th house, this is a good time to retrospect, to introspect great early into what you want for your finances. For example, the kind of portfolio that you're holding, the changes that you want to make in your regular income, all this can be defined and much more, provided you actually go for what you want to do. This is also a good time to slot out the higher income that you are aiming for. For those who are looking for a job change, for those who are looking for change of home, this is also a good time when you can define that period and go ahead with that. As far as children are concerned, please don't be overwhelming for them. Try to be polite with them, try to work with them in the greatest of manner and not push them into a corner. If you do that, there is mutiny on hands. If for those children who want to study, who are sitting for competitive exams and are finding it difficult to memorize things, they're losing it. This is very important that you stay put to one syllabus at a time, to one subject at a time, in fact, to one chapter at a time. And do that, study in a secluded place, not in front of a lot of many people. And you will find that memorizing, learning, adjusting will be good for you. In fact, the suggestion is do not keep in mind that so much is left to be done. What you need to understand is this moment, I need to do only this much, and you will make great inroads. As far as finances are concerned, you will do good if you are able to understand exactly what is it that you're looking for. For those who work in the financial markets, like the futures and like the share markets, it's best to be very, very careful. Not invest irrationally or radically, but to think, go inside and understand your limits, understand till what level is it that you have understood those futures, those securities that you want to invest in, and only then do the needful, and you will make a great inroad there. For the Virgo Lagna people, this is a good time to just pick up one area of research. A strong Digbali Mars in transit for you as an 8th Lord gives you an opportunity to move deep down into an area of research that you want to work in. In fact, it is a time when any old ancient science would be calling out to you. So if you have the right combinations in your chart, in your natal chart, this is a good time to restart your studies in that zone. That will also take off the heat of many an irritation, many a compulsions that could be forming in your mind, and consequently heating, creating anger, creating frustration and health issues, chronic health issues like blood pressure, or for ladies, as I maintain, menstrual ups and downs, disturbances. So if you invest properly in any studies, it could also be in the financial markets for those who work the financial markets. If you take up a study in that area also relating to your work, it will do you a lot good. It is advised that you do not push your children in a corner. If you do so, there will be repercussions. It will be detrimental for your relationships. So it is advised that you stay away from that area also. Vent out your frustration, vent out your anger in cleaning up. Though it's post Diwali, but it is better for those who do a lot of cleaning for the new year. It's better to utilize your energy there. It's also a good time to do a lot of cooking. It will help you to create a lot of good energy for yourself. This is also a good time for you to invest in certain work regarding the home, and especially with children if you can. In fact, with working with an organization that does a lot of work for the old and infirm will also help you vent that energy and find that proper direction. So much is available for you to do, so it's best that you invest your energies there. Again, as I repeat, on the health front, it is very important that you take good care of your health, because it's your third and eighth lord, which is Digbali and retrograde. So it's very strong, giving out clean messages that you remove all those habits of yours that will have its repercussions in your life if you do not go easy on it. It's good time to improve your eating habits also. For those who are so used to eating a lot of spicy food, go easy on the spices for some time. As we talk about the Libra Lagna, for them having planets in, as we talk about the Libra Lagna, for the Libra Lagna, it's very important to be very careful with your travel plans. For those who are traveling and who would like to travel for the next coming 2 months, they should have their travel itinerary and plans down to the last T, because there's certain things you may miss out which may create a certain amount of mishap. For those who are thinking, I cannot understand, cannot find out a way to find a good subject on which to work on, this couple of months is a good time to invest your energy in that direction and to find out a subject that is of your choice, and then go ahead working with that. It'll be a great time when Mars comes on in the Cancer sign. That is a great time for you to work in that practical subject. So this is a time when you need to find the subject out. It's very important that you be very careful of what you speak and how you speak, especially to your mother. It is a time when you might get into a certain amount of conflict with your mother. It is a time when you need to start thinking on what is the kind of partnership or what is the kind of work that you want to do. And by the 30th of December, there's certain certainties that you would be able to work with and then make very great decisions about the kind of partnership that you want to work under. In fact, for those who want to get married, be very careful for the next 2 months. Do move into a decisive phase, but don't take an instant decision. Your decision will be taken by you itself by around the last week of December, and that is the time when you will be able to take a correct decision. Introspection is the key for you, because this is the time when you will be able to make the right choice, as Mars is in your 8th house. Just telling you not to get into scuffle with partners if you're married, and if you're working in a company professionally, don't get into any scuffle with anybody. That would be detrimental for your work as well as for yourself. Think well of your finances before you spend, and you will do good for yourself. When we talk about the Scorpio Lagna, again for the Scorpio Lagna, it's the Lagna Lord which gets to be retrograde in the 8th house. So it's very important that you take good care of your health. It's also the 6th Lord getting retrograde in the 8th house. Make sure that all the habits which have an ability to create a chronic issue are at this juncture. Even if you're young, this is a good place where you remove those habits. And if you are at an age where you're capable of removing those habits, please do. Otherwise, chronic problems are on their way home. So it's very important that you take good care of your health. You need to build up on your mental health also, because feeling lethargic, listless, and such is also taking a toll on your mental health. Doing your mantras, doing your affirmations will help you to reinstate that mental peace that you're looking for. It's all within you that you're trying to find. On a financial front, you will find that you're looking for safety nets where you can put in your money. In fact, I'd suggest that before hedging or doing any such investments, you need to be very sure of the companies that you're putting your dollars into. It's a good time when you take good care of paying up your premiums, you paying up your policies, so that later on you do not have those issues regarding them. As far as your siblings are concerned, I would always suggest that try to work things out verbally with them. Don't get into any uh, scuffles with them. Don't get into acrimonious fights with them. And that is the key of maintaining a good life with your siblings. So whenever you are facing a little bit of problems with them, moderate amount of water will cool you down. That is one of the remedies that you can do. For the Sagittarius Lagna, it is a good time to ascertain uh, matters regarding your spouse and your partners. It's good for those who want to get married. It's a good time to ponder on this decision. For the next 2 months, make an effort to see if the choice that you have taken in life is the right one, and then go ahead at the end of December for the New Year's, take the right decision and go about working on it. For those who are going to work in a new business, it's important that you choose your partners well. You can also think about working on a different aspect of your business. However, do not invest money into it without a great thought and without proper research. Putting in unnecessary amount of money will create a lot of problems for you. It is a time when you do work with your employees, sort things out with them rather than getting very irritated at them. If you do that, it may be detrimental for your work. Talk to them politely, be firm, and that will help you work better in your matters. It is important that you keep yourself hydrated and well oiled. For those who have chronic issues, it is time that you take care of yourselves, your health habits, so that these chronic issues do not go out of hand. For those who have issues regarding absorption of food, or eating food untimely, eating food which is not very properly well cooked, or so on and so forth, it's time that you change those habits. Otherwise, you might be facing certain issues as Mars would then, when Mars would move into the sign of Cancer. When we talk about those who want to move into an area of higher education, find your niche first. Be very sure of what you are going into. And when Mars re-enters into the sign of Gemini, that is a time when you can do the needful well. It is also a time that you need to ascertain very clearly about certain value systems at home. Be firm, again I repeat, but be polite. Otherwise, that is an area where you can again create issues for yourself. Mars retrograde gives us an ability to work for others also, instead of focusing just on ourselves. So do that in terms of your employees and your home. For the Capricorn Lagna, it is very important that you maintain a steadiness in life. It's very important that you find a balance in your workplace and this firmness, this steadiness within yourself. It is the time when you can focus on the things that do not work for you, things that make you lethargic, things that can create problems for you, and systematically work on those habits and remove them. This will do you a lot good, and it will also take you to another level where your ambitions will find a stronger focus. This is a good time to rectify your sarcasm in speech and not be mean to others. If you are walking that path, or if your retrograde Mars allows you that sarcasm to others, in that case, you will create a lot of problems for yourselves, especially at your workplace and with your friends. On the health front, it is very important that you eat less, that you eat well, because this area of lethargy, this restlessness will be taken care of if you eat good, but if you eat less, and especially at the right times. This is also an area where you should keep your spirits in buoyancy, because though the sixth house restlessness is working into you, but initially it will also help you work hard on your own self. Don't try to create problems for your own self. Try to find your focus, and you will do good during this Mars retrograde. For the Aquarius Lagna, this is the time when you need to be very focused for your children, for your area, for your love interest, and you need to work with your students as well. For those who are into areas of studying, this is a time when you may feel lost, you may feel all over the place. It's important to get your bearings back, get your focus on the subject and see whether that is the area of interest that you have. It is also a time for those who have children to understand their children, to try and search politely about what their needs are and then work according to them. For those with a strong love interest, it is a time when you focused more on your love rather than on yourself. Try to understand what the person expects out of you, or rather what you expect out of the relationship. Talk it out, work it out, and see how it takes itself in the next couple of months. Give your health the priority. The back muscles should be well oiled, and you should know very well how to keep your spines supple. This is important because as Mars aspects your 12th house, health issues do take a very strong concern for you. It is important that you need to study your relationships in the groups that you are attached to and also your workplace. Give them the priority. While you are making investments, it's important not to be all over the place. Think, ponder, investigate into the right area of investment that you want to work in, and then go for that. This is the time when you can relocate the areas where you can apply your intelligence for the best that you can and move ahead, investing properly your time and energy in those areas and coming out victorious by the end of the retrograde phase. For those who are interested in starting a new study, it is important to be very sure of your area of expertise or the area where you want to gain expertise. That will help you work well. For the Pisces Lagna, it's a good time to ponder well on your friends. It's a good time to activate your subconscious mind. Be directed towards that. Don't make any decisions regarding your finances which are wayward. Be easy on that, especially as you see a change in your finances, especially those which are recurring in nature. If you see a change there, ponder, try to find out what has gone wrong or where you can bring in some extra amount. But before taking any strong decisions, what is required is also making very good effort in your workplace. Any wayward experimentation done with your work can also create problems for you. Your acidity levels are most likely to rise. So it's important that you consume a fair amount of water, and you also try to find out what is something that is appealing to the masses, and then when you incorporate it in your workplace, you will be able to take the right kind of decisions for yourself. This retrograde period gives you an ability to think along those lines. This is also important that you organize a lot of things about yourself and your spouse, and you will see when you are giving in that care concern to your spouse or your partner in the organization, it is going to give you good dividends in terms of friendship and your ability to get them to do what you want. For those students who are trying to pass certain competitive exams, it's important for you to focus on the practical aspect of things that you can do with your exams, and not just on the outward of it. When you focus on the practical aspects of your learning, you will be able to do better. So this is what Mars retrograde has to get for all of us, for all the all the 12 lagnas. For those who want to talk about the remedial measures about Mars, a good thing where you can find that energy supplement is the Hanuman Chalisa. It's one of the best parts of puja that one can do. One can also do it on the go, provided they have done it while sitting down at least one rotation. And for those who can visit the temples on Mondays, on Tuesdays, that's the best thing. Apart from that, South of India people also worship Murugeshan, and that is also a good way to appease the gods. Till we meet with you again, please do write in your comments and your suggestions, and stay safe.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.